What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to another live stream on Saturday. It's not often I do a live stream on Saturday, but I've been very busy this week. So, unfortunately, I couldn't do daily lives like I usually do. So, I'm going to make up for it and do a live stream today on Saturday. And if you have any questions, make sure to get them in the comment section right now. I'm going to be going over a lot of your questions later on in this live stream. But we are seeing some more positive signs with the crypto market since I last did, um, you know, a live stream because Total 3 has reclaimed its bull market support band. It is currently sat above it. That to me is a very bullish sign for the altcoin market because we know that Bitcoin has been under its bull market support band. It lost it. Total 3 is in fact above it, and Ethereum also is in fact above it. So we've got some very bullish signs when it comes to altcoins right now. Bitcoin is still kind of just trying to reclaim some of the levels which it lost. For those of you who don't know, Bitcoin lost its bull market support band. The upper bound of it is around 113.2K. That is the level for me Bitcoin needs to get back above if we want any chance of seeing a new all-time high anytime soon. And the real level is actually this yellow line here, which is the macro resistance trend line on Bitcoin, which stems all the way back to 2017. So there's two major levels Bitcoin needs to get above to be bullish, but the altcoins are looking a whole lot better structurally speaking. Ethereum is above its bull market support band. I just told you Total 3 is above its bull market support band. Let's take a look at the total market cap. You can see the total market cap is on its bull market support band, trying to get above it. So it's only really Bitcoin right now that's letting us down. It's only really Bitcoin currently that is sitting below it. And for me, the bull market support band is a very good indicator. I've used it many times already this cycle, and it is typically very good because when you get a break above it, it's usually not just a very minor rally. Typically, when you break above it, you're going to see a nice rally to the upside, okay? Because it's a very significant level to break back above. Now, in this live stream, I'm going to share with you, obviously, my highest conviction plays, which you can see on the screen right now. Sui, Aerodrome, Say, Casper, Ondo, Tau, Morpho, H-Bar, the VIP gem, which I've just bought even more of today, and I'm going to continue buying in this current trading range, Avantis, Virtuals, and Zora. So those are the well-known picks that you guys hear me talk about every day. But I'm also going to give you two potential alternative buys in this live stream that I don't actually hold in my portfolio, but I think they are good projects and I'm going to put them on my radar and I'm going to watch them very, very closely, in fact. So I'll be sharing with you two potential gems, which both look like they are in good buy zones. They are risky buys, so I want to make that very clear. They're not the safest coins in the world. They're not your Solanas or your Suis, but if this is the bottom for them, they're not just going to go and do a 2x. Okay, these are going to go and do massive moves to the upside if this is the bottom for them. Okay, it's a big if. So these are the top gems. I mentioned the VIP gem. That one for me has unmatched potential right now in this market. Those of you who are on the VIP membership, you'll know exactly which project I'm talking about. That project has insane backing from VCs, and it's in a good buy zone. It's very cheap to be accumulating, and it's relatively new, and the narrative it's in is excellent. So it literally ticks all the boxes for a project when I'm doing my research. And I'm just surprised it hasn't rallied yet. But the good thing is, if you're joining the VIP, you're still early to this gem. Okay, so the VIP group continues to be insanely active even during a bit of a sideways market, which is very boring for people, and they're continuing to print. A lot of people in the group opened up leveraged long positions on virtuals just before its major breakout move. So I want to talk a little bit about virtuals here. You guys know virtuals is one of my high conviction plays. It has been for a while. It's making a really nice move to the upside right now. And everyone knows my entry point on virtuals was better than everyone. I managed to pick up virtuals all the way down at around 54 cents. No one bought virtuals lower than me, pretty much. I got it at the bottom, and everybody knows that. Okay, so I'm the guy to speak with when you're talking about virtuals because no one bought it cheaper than me. So virtuals is looking insane. I mean, look, people bought it cheaper, but that would have been the guys who got in on the initial rally. But I mean, like literally in the last year or so, no one's bought virtuals cheaper unless you manage to freaking catch it right at the bottom of that wick. But I highly, highly doubt that happened, right? Because people buying these wicks were not people like you and me. They were probably insiders. Anyway, we got virtuals at 54 cents. It ran up all the way up to around $2.60. I took massive profits during this run up here. Correctly, people were calling me crazy. They were saying, why are you taking profits on virtuals? It's only up 4x. It's only up 5x. Why would you take profits on virtuals? You've got to take the profits when they come. There's no guarantees that something will 100x. When you see profits like this, you should take them. And I was taking profits when I was up 4x, 5x, whatever it was on virtuals. It did a 5.5x in a few months, okay? So I took some profits, but I still have a very nice bag of virtuals. I'm still very bullish on it. And you can see right now it is breaking out. It's had a bit of a, long-term downtrend, you could say here. And it is officially breaking out of this downtrend, which is great. Really, really great. So, there's multiple ways you can kind of draw this chart here for virtuals. Okay. Like there's a few ways you can draw it depending on how you want to. But basically you can see that virtuals has been in a downtrend, but it's a compression downtrend. Okay. It's basically a bullish structure, this type of movement. You're seeing it compress as it goes down. Typically, these break to the upside, and that's exactly what has happened with virtuals. And you can see that literally in the last 2 days alone, virtuals has gained 78% ROI just in the last 2 days alone. Last 2 days alone, it's up 78%. These are the types of gains we are making, obviously, in the VIP group. And it seems like AI coins are making a bit of a comeback. So we'll be monitoring that situation very closely and we'll be capitalizing on it if any good opportunities come our way. So I am going to discuss the 2 additional plays, the 2 additional opportunities a little bit later on in the live stream. I'll get through some of the comments first. But the way things are looking, they're not looking bad at all. It's looking very similar to me to the April lows that we got in the crypto market. And, I'm pretty bullish. The altcoin market hasn't lost structure. It's only really Bitcoin that's lost structure. And as long as Bitcoin doesn't close the week below the bull market support band, below the Gaussian channel, bull market support band's okay. Gaussian channel, that's the line in the sand. We can't close below that. As long as Bitcoin doesn't close below that, we can still have a really nice altcoin rally, even if Bitcoin is kind of going sideways and not really, entering price discovery mode. So if you're just joining the stream, please hit the likes. We've only got 27 likes on the stream. I'm streaming on Saturday. Usually I don't. Usually Saturday's the day off. So please do hit the likes if you're just tuning into the live stream. I'll go through some of the comments here. Casper 2025 says, "What's up, Archie? Joining the bundle was the best decision I've made all cycle." Amazing. That's amazing. Looking forward to our one-to-one call on Monday. What are your thoughts on Casper at 0.05? It's almost at your average buy. Yeah, so first of all, Casper, great to have you on the bundle. It is without doubt the best membership plan in all of crypto because not only can you get on a call with me, you can also copy trade me. That's one of the perks of the bundle and loads of other things as well. It's a lifetime package. But with regards to Casper, Casper at 5 cents is attractive to me. I'm going to be honest with you. It is an attractive price. And I was waiting for this price all along with Casper. I've told you guys many times, I was waiting for one of 2 things. The first was a breakout. Then I would buy Casper if I got confirmation of a breakout. It didn't give me confirmation of a breakout. What was I looking for? I was looking for a weekly close above this resistance line. It did not provide that. Okay? It did not provide a breakout move. So I didn't buy. I wasn't just going to blindly DCA in at random levels. No. I had another level. That level was its macro support range around 5 cents. That was previous resistance here because I remember it. And it was also previous resistance here. Oh, sorry, this is 4 cents. My bad. So it was previous resistance here back in August 2023. It was resistance again here. And then we flipped that resistance into support during the April crash. Many altcoins came back down to their April lows. It made sense that Casper came back down to its April lows. So to me, hasn't really broken structure. Breaking structure would be a break below this kind of range here. It did break structure a long time ago, but I'm talking about macro structure here, okay? And the great thing is, in my situation, I sold a bunch of my Casper up here at 17, 16, 15 cents, that region. And now I bought back in at 5 cents. It's a freaking win-win. I couldn't have timed it better. So I'm really pleased with Casper. I'm really happy the fact that it's come down because that was the level I was waiting for all along. I can buy back in almost at my average. You're right. My average on Casper is 4 cents. It's at 5.4 right now, so it's slightly above my average. I'm not massively increasing my average if I buy now. Whereas if I was buying at 8 cents, 9 cents, 10 cents, I'm massively up in my average. I personally don't want to do that. But great to have you on the bundle, Casper, 2025, and I'm looking forward to the call as well. Yeah, virtuals has been ripping. It's been absolutely insane, the price action on virtuals. It is probably due a pullback at some point, like just a little bit of a pullback, okay? It is potentially finding some resistance at the 0.5 level, but it's still too early to say. I see quite often when projects have these types of breakout moves, typically they run up all the way to the 786 or the golden pocket, typically on the retracement, okay? Or would it be the extension? Yeah, it'd be called the extension. So obviously, guys, just a bit of TA 101. There's two ways of doing fibs. First is from low to high. That gives you your DCA targets on the way down. You can see how well the golden pocket was actually respected on virtuals, but then it lost it. So that's one way of doing the fibs from bottom to top. There's another way, which is from top to bottom, and that gives you your resistance levels. So one type of fib, one type of way of doing your fibs gives you support levels. The other way kind of gives you resistance levels. So we've got our resistance levels here on virtuals. We go from the high to the low. So we can see that 0.5 is one potential level. That also kind of coincides with some previous resistance here. These are the September highs on virtuals and August highs. So right now, virtuals is retesting September and August prices where we saw rejections previously. So this is a potential rejection zone. I've got to be honest with you. This is a potential zone I'd be looking at on virtuals to take a bit of profits if you haven't already. Like I said, I've already taken more than enough profits on virtuals. I've just got a moon bag left. I took the majority of my profits up here on virtuals and I was up 5.5x. But let's say you bought it down here during the crash. Here isn't a bad, it's not a bad price to just take your initials out, right? Or just take a little bit of profits. Could it go up to the golden pocket or the 786 and then have the correction? Yes, but it is looking quite overextended here on many time frames. I mean, if we look at the prime oscillators, which are the indicators I personally use, they are linked in the description if you're interested. And we take a look at the 4-hour, which is more of the time frame I personally like to look at. You can see we are getting quite overbought here on the 4-hour. We've got an indicator kind of flashing when it gives this orange bar that shows potential, a potential rejection inbound. So it's just something to be aware of. Virtuals has had a really nice pump here, and it's great to see all of you guys making a ton of money, myself included. But there is probably going to be some form of a correction quite soon, Whether or not it's right here or whether it's maybe a little bit higher, like $1.50 region, who knows? But there is probably going to be a little bit of a cool off at some point to this rally. Michael says Euro up. Yeah, Euro's up 7% today as well. That's good to see. I'm very happy with that because I've got a nice bag of Euro, and I bought most of my Aerodrome between 39 and 55 cents. So I'm already up very nicely on Aerodrome as well. Very happy to see that. Yeah, don't chase virtuals right now. I agree. You should have just bought virtuals when I dropped my buy alert at 50 cents. You know, now's way too late to be buying it. I mean, it'll still do good gains, but there's better buys elsewhere. Like I would buy Say right now. Like if someone was asking me what would I buy in the market, I would probably buy Say. That would be the one I would be stacking right now, not virtuals. Mr. Miggles is at really good prices right now to accumulate. I agree. It is extreme risk. It is super degen. But if you like those types of plays, or you just want to gamble like a tiny amount of your portfolio, Mr. Miggles could be a decent one to gamble. We've got a blue dot here, which typically marks the bottom on the prime oscillator. We've got a bullish divergence here. We've got 2 up reversals, and we are back testing massive support on Mr. Miggles. This level has been used as support in August 2024, in September 2024, September 2024 again, October 2024, and October 2025. So this has been a multi-year support level. When I say multi-year, I mean more than 1 year, not more than 2 years. But if you are bullish on base meme coins, you're bullish on Mr. Miggles, which I'm pretty sure doesn't have any big listings, and that was always the issue for it. Just check. Yeah, it's only on Mexi, which is the kind of the disappointing thing. It could be a potential buy, but one thing I would do, even if you're buying this on spot, okay, is I would still set a stop loss. I would still set a stop loss because this could end up just literally going down for infinity. That is sometimes what happens with these meme coins, and you don't want to be a victim of another meme just basically slow rugging forever. So I would set a stop loss somewhere around the support or just below the support, depending on how tight you want it, even if I'm on spot. There is no harm in using a stop loss, even if you are on spot. It prevents you from potentially entering a slow rug. Okay, it protects you. And that's one of the things I should have even done more this cycle is spot stop losses, okay? XRP is going to blow everyone away $100 plus, man. Give me some of the stuff you're smoking because that is an insane price target. Chris says, hello, Archie from Brisbane. How's it going in Australia, Chris? Welcome to the stream. Archie, I am holding a spot position on virtuals. When should I exit? Maybe weekly stochastic RSI top. I don't recommend using the stochastic RSI really on the weekly. I prefer the stochastic on the shorter time frames and the regular RSI on the weekly. Don't get me wrong, people still use the stochastic on higher time frames. But yeah. So we got oversold up reversal on the prime oscillator. It had a nice bounce. When would you potentially take some profits on virtuals? I would say take some profits once it flashes on the prime oscillator here. If you have this indicator. Once it flashes reversal, see this little red arrow? Once it does that, then I would take some profits. That's what I would personally do. But if you don't have this, then I would just target this fib level here. I take some profits maybe at 1.42, take some profits at 1.70, just basically level to level. Level to level TPs. Okay, if we can get the likes Above 100, I will reveal to you the gem opportunities. Okay, I haven't even told the VIPs about these opportunities. I've told them about one of them. Okay, I've told the VIPs about one of these out of two. So there's two gems. One of them I've already told the VIPs it's a potential entry. And the other is just a trade I'm currently in on the copy trading account. Okay, so the guys on the bundle will know about both of these. The guys on the VIP will know about one of these. So these are solid opportunities. Okay, I don't have either of these on spot. Okay, full disclaimer, I don't have either of them in my spot portfolio. But I think there is some potential there. So hit the likes and I'll be revealing two potential gems. They're both at good buy entries. Cowan was right about Bitcoin dominance, predicting the rise, no alt season, like you said. There was an alt season, so that was wrong. Even his indicators were flashing alt season. So there is an indicator called the alt season index. There's numerous versions of this. Pretty much all of them flashed alt season. So you can deny this, right? But it literally came up and said this is an alt season. So you can deny reality and say, yeah, that wasn't an alt season. But based on objective data, it was an alt season. We can debate whether it was a shit alt season or not. I think it was terrible. It was a very bad alt season, one of the worst I've seen. We still made a 10x in 10 days during that alt season on Avantis. By the way, Avantis has been pumping again lately, which is great to see. We also made a 2x in a day on Zora and countless other great calls, right? So you can say, yeah, that wasn't a very good alt season, but that's subjective opinion. You can't say it wasn't an alt season because it was. And Cowan kept on calling for dominance to go up like a broken record, right? And a broken clock is right twice a day. So basically, this entire drop down on dominance, this entire alt season, Cowan kept on calling dominance to go up. This entire time, basically from June all the way until September, dominance will go up, dominance will go up, dominance will go up. It just kept on freaking going down for almost half a year. So obviously at some point it was going to go up. That doesn't make you a genius just because you said at some point it will go up. I'm going to make a prediction. At some point it will go down. And then whenever it goes down, I'll come onto YouTube and be like, I told you so. I'm a genius. Obviously it was going to go up at some point. But that you can't deny the fact that this was the dominance top, like I called on this channel, and I told everyone that 66% was the top. And we had a 13.3%, 13.4% drop on dominance across a period of around 100 days. Okay, let me just double check what the period was exactly. Okay, 83 days, let's just call it. 80 days. We had a drop on dominance for 80 days. What is an alt season? An alt season is altcoins outperforming Bitcoin. It doesn't really matter what happens with their USD values. That's kind of irrelevant. Now, obviously, people correlate, or they associate rather, alt season with alts going up in USD values. But that isn't necessarily what an alt season is. An alt season is alts going up to their Bitcoin values. Because if they're not outperforming Bitcoin, then it's not an alt season. It's a Bitcoin season. You could have alts going up in USD values, but Bitcoin's going up more. That doesn't mean you're in an alt season. An alt season is when alts are going up in comparison to BTC, or when BTC is going down in comparison to altcoins. And that is exactly what your Bitcoin dominance chart is. And you can see we went down for almost 100 days straight. That was an alt season. You could say it was a bad one. You could say it was a tamed one. You could say whatever you want about it. Whichever adjective you want, to describe it you can use. And I probably agree with a lot of them. Bad, terrible, tamed, whatever. You can use all those adjectives. But it was an alt season. Not only was dominance going down for multiple months, which is what an alt season is, but the altcoin season index itself flashed alt season. So if you deny those things, you're just denying reality. And that's not my problem. Yes, Ben Cowen constantly called dominance to go up this entire time. And he was right because we had a flash crash at one point, right? But obviously it was going to go up at some point. What very few people actually called was the actual top on dominance, which I did on this channel. I said this was the top. I called it publicly. I then said, let me just pull up the fibs here. Let me get up the macro fibs. So I was analyzing the fibs on dominance very closely. I was going from this low down here to this high. Sorry, wrong way. From this high to this low, right? So I called the top here because this was the 786 fib. Okay. And dominance really respects the fibs. It respected the fibs here when we had this mini alt season as well. In 2024, we had a mini alt season. It respected the fibs there. It respected this 786 fib, and there was many signals. You could have looked at ETH BTC. You could have looked at Sol BTC. You could have looked at loads of different altcoin to Bitcoin pairs. A lot of them were bottoming out at this point. So this was the top for dominance. I called it, but very few people did. Many people were calling for us to go up to between 70 and 73%. I remember those were the numbers. Everyone was saying 70 to 73%. That's what you wait for. They were all wrong. And all those people who were in Bitcoin got wrecked compared to altcoin pairs during this period. What was I doing up here? I was putting my money where my mouth was, and I was selling my BTC for a plethora of altcoins, which all did between a 2 to a 10x during this period here, okay? We got loads of gains here on alts. Even HBAR did over a 2x for us during this period. So essentially, every single altcoin you can name outperformed Bitcoin for a few months. And Bitcoin went from 74K to 126K. That was the gain for Bitcoin. So not even a 2x. Bitcoin didn't even do a 2x. Ethereum went from 1.3 to over 5K. During the same time, Bitcoin went from 74 to 126. Ethereum went from 1.3 to over 5K. Ethereum drastically outperformed Bitcoin. Most of the alts outperformed Bitcoin. The good ones, okay? Maybe not freaking Shiba Inu, Doge, Elon, Rocket Mars. Maybe not that altcoin, but most altcoins outperform. Most solid altcoins outperform Bitcoin. So this was an alt season. We can debate how good it was. I would agree it was a pretty bad alt season. But you can't say that it wasn't because the alt season index itself literally freaking flashed and said that it was. So you're denying data. Do I think we'll have another alt season? Yes, I do. I think we'll have another one. And yes, that alt season was not like 2021's alt season, But I don't think we will get an alt season like 2021's alt season this time around. You can kiss that type of alt season goodbye, in my opinion. Everyone's counting on the same thing to happen again. 2021 all over again. It's going to be very different. Should I buy into Tau right now? Tau's a decent buy, but I think there's better buys out there. There's better buys out there. When will alts pump, Archie? I think they're about to start rallying again pretty soon here. A lot of it depends on this weekly close, though, on Sunday. Do I still believe Sui can 3 to 5x from here? My target on Sui's always been $10, right? So 3 to 5x. I mean, a lot of these are. Maybe I should do price targets instead. Maybe I need to do price targets. Because some of these are outdated. I mean, most of them are kind of accurate. But I think it'd be better to do like actual price targets, because 1 week it's a 3 to 5x. Like if you asked me during the crash, right down here, Sui was at $2.20. So it might have been a 5x then, and now it's a 4x or 3x. You know what I mean? So it's better for me to do price targets as opposed to X targets, because the X's are constantly changing depending on whether we're up or whether we're down that week. But yeah, I still think Sui can hit $10. That is still my target. But I'll be taking profits before then. I already have taken profits on Sui. You guys know I was buying Sui down at 76 cents. Okay. That was my buy region. I was taking profits this whole way up here because I knew that it wasn't going to last forever. You got to take profits while they come. All right. $5 donation from Global Investor. Appreciate your donation. Love your channel. What is your brutal, honest opinion on Litecoin? Top price prediction for the next 3 months. Okay. I'm not a big Litecoin guy, I've got to be honest. I think Casper does many things Litecoin does, but better. But let's take a look at the chart. See what is going on here. So Litecoin did come down to a golden pocket by the looks of it. I mean, I haven't charted Litecoin in a while. It's been some time since I looked at this chart. But it did come down to a golden pocket, which is nice. Respected the level very nicely. And on the wick, it wicked down to the 786, which is also very nice. But in terms of where can it go this cycle, I don't think it's going to go to its all-time high. It just hasn't shown enough for me to signify that it's going to make a new high this cycle. And I think a lot of coins actually won't make a new high this cycle. I don't think Cardano will make a new high this cycle. I don't think Polkadot will make a new high this cycle. And I don't think Litecoin will do that either. But yeah, I think most likely Litecoin will top out between the 786 and the 0.5 this cycle. So maybe between $220 and $330 per coin. But it might even top out lower. It depends if it can get moving quite soon. And by the way, a good signal for a potential top in the market is when Litecoin starts rallying. If Litecoin's rallying, then you're probably getting close to a top, because at the end of the day, it's Litecoin, right? No one really uses it. It's got no hype. By the time Litecoin rallies, most other cryptos have probably already rallied, and you're in the last innings. Crypto Sports says, Archie, I'm a fly on the wall in your group, have been for quite some time. I must admit that I've made life-changing money with you, sir. Thank you so much. I just follow your calls and execute. Wow, that's amazing, Crypto Sports. Really happy to hear that you're making money, and it's been life-changing. I've had a lot of stories like that, and I'm very, very happy to hear that. You know, it's crazy. Like, I just literally document what I buy and sell. That's all I do. Document when I buy, when I sell coins. And people like to follow along, and it's truly been life-changing for a lot of people. And makes me very happy to hear those stories. When I gave the Avantis call, the 10x in 10 days call, that paid off people's mortgages, okay? It really did. I had multiple people tell me, this call changed my life. They said, you know, I paid off my house because of you. I got out of lifelong debt because of you. I retired because of you. I had about 7 or 8 of those different stories. I think it was 7. Just from the virtuals call. I mean, from the Avantis call. So very, very happy to hear that you're winning. Because very few people are in the crypto market. But seems to be very common for those of you who are in the VIP membership. Inflation is still rising. The CPI came in better than expected. Thoughts on ZBIC? This one really hasn't got the best price structure, if I remember correctly. Like, it doesn't follow the levels that well. Oh, wait. My bad. I take that back. It finally came down to a level. This thing was never following the fibs, okay? And that was always like my issue with it, was it didn't really respect the levels that well. But you can see it pulled back to the golden pocket perfectly, which is really, really nice. So ZBIC's looking really good. The fact that it came down to the golden pocket. It's looking solid. It's decent. Thoughts on Bucky? Sounds familiar. Bro, this isn't even on CoinMarketCap. Where have I heard Bucky from? I feel like I've heard it before, but it's not even on CoinMarketCap. So how am I supposed to review it? I'm not going on Dex Screener. If it's not on CoinMarketCap, then I'm not going to review it on the live stream. Like, if you can't even afford a CoinMarketCap listing, then something is going wrong here. VIP is worth it. Appreciate that. Toshi in the building, 2 to 5 cents top, calling it now. What would that be? Toshi is at 0007. Let's just work this out, because I feel like this price prediction is going to be ridiculous. I should do it the other way around. So that divided by that. Let's see how many X's this is. 64X. Seriously, man? I thought it was going to be worse. I thought it was going to say like 600x or something for a second. Toshi's good, man, but 64x or 65x. What even would that be as a market cap? 300 million times 65. 19 billion market cap. Okay, so you think Toshi is going to be bigger than Pepe? Pepe's all-time high. You think Toshi is going to be basically twice as big as Pepe's all-time high? I disagree. I'm bullish on Toshi, but I don't agree with that target. I think it's crazy. Thoughts on Millie on Say? I still think Millie on Say will do well whenever Say has a big rally. Okay. Structurally, it still looks fine. Like it still, when I look at this, it still looks like quite an organic chart, despite the fact, obviously, it's had a sizable correction. I would just be waiting on a breakout for Say, and then this thing should rocket. But Say is looking really good right now. How much is the VIP? It is 145 right now, but my goal is to raise it to $200 by the year end. We'll see if that takes place. Maybe it'll be a little bit less or maybe a bit more, but basically the demand has been insane. So I have to have a group that is manageable. And there's over 1,000 members right now. So arguably that is already not manageable. The fact there's over 1,000 members, it just means I need to employ more and more staff. But yeah, this group is insanely active. We have voice chats pretty much every day. You get my real-time buy and sell alerts. You get my real-time trades. You get a trader's real-time trades as well, a full-time trader. You get additional live streams. You get portfolio reviews. You can have your projects reviewed by a researcher who I've employed. We have an entire section here for guidance. So you can get your portfolio reviewed by one of my researchers or by myself whenever I do a VIP live stream. I do portfolio reviews on live streams as well. And we have a project review as well. So you can literally get a project and it will be analyzed by a professional researcher, okay? Someone who knows the crypto market very well. So yeah, it's super valuable. People have joined. It's like I said, $145 a month. And they've made millions from the group. So if you work that out, $145 a month, people have made millions. It's too cheap. I mean, the things nowadays you can get for $145 are ridiculous. Okay, you might not even be able to go out for a meal for $145 at a nice restaurant nowadays, and that's the membership for a whole month. And this actually makes you money. Check the membership link in the description for VIP prices, but no one leaves for a reason. Yeah, no one leaves. Maybe one person leaves every few months. Yes, you get futures signals as well in the VIP, you do. All right, we hit 102 likes. So there's two opportunities I want to share with you guys. The first is one that looks like a rug, but it's not, okay? The project is still building and it still has a market cap of around 200 or 300 million. It's come all the way down to bear market prices. All right. It's come all the way down to bear market prices. And it is Arweave. I used to be super bullish on this, but I sold it a while back. This has come all the way down to bear market prices. And if this is a bottom here, let's just say it doesn't even go to its all-time high of 2021, and it just reclaims its high from 2024. You're looking at a 14x, 13, 14x from here. Let's say it only goes to half of that. Let's say it only goes to half of that high, and it just goes to here. Looking at a 7x. So the reason why I'm bringing this to your attention now like I said, full disclaimer, I do not have a spot position in Arweave. I used to, but I sold it a while back because there was signs that it was going to break down. However, it literally tagged the bear market levels, okay? And provided Bitcoin doesn't enter a bear market here, I would be very surprised if Arweave just basically bleeds out forever. Okay. If Bitcoin enters a bear market, i.e., it closes below the closes below the Gaussian channel. If Bitcoin closes below the Gaussian channel, then Arweave will just go to zero, basically. It will just go down and down and down forever, right? However, if this is the floor and we are going up here, this could genuinely be an insane opportunity. And there's a reason I'm sharing it with you right now when it's in the dumpster, when it's gone down loads, than when it's really, really high. Because the money is made through buying fear, through buying macro support regions. And there is no doubt that Arweave is in a macro support region right now. The second project would be Pump Fund Token. Okay, again, I don't hold this project in my spot portfolio. I don't hold it in my spot portfolio. However, if we have a whole meme coin rally again, which I believe we will, Pump Fund Token should have a nice rally. It's already proven itself by rallying quite a lot back in kind of August and September, right? It was doing quite a nice rally. So if it does that, you're getting a really nice buy zone here in a golden pocket. So I'm giving you these coins not because I'm a massive, massive fan of their fundamentals. I'm not a huge fan of their fundamentals. They're both decent. They're both decent projects. But these aren't SUIs or SAYs or projects I really, really love. The reason I'm sharing them with you is because they're both at good buy zones. One is at a major macro support level, multi-year support. The other is in a macro golden pocket. So do with it what you will. Don't feel compelled to buy either of them. Like I said, I don't hold either of them in my portfolio, but I'm sharing them with you as alternative plays to the current coins I've already provided, because I think both of them could maybe do something quite nice, or one of them, even if just one of them does a really nice rally, it will make up for the other one's loss potentially. So that is it. I do appreciate all of you tuning in and watching the live stream today. Please do hit the likes. Also, make sure to sign up to an account on Blowfin. There is a link down below to Blowfin. There is currently a promo available. You can potentially get some free money if you use my link down below and deposit some USDT. So check that link out. It's right in the description as a second link. It's literally free, non-KYC. You can do it anywhere in the world. Just create an account, deposit some money, and you never know, you may get some nice rewards to trade with for absolutely no charge. And yeah, check out the VIP group, 24/7 active community where you get, genius analyst takes on the markets. Not only will you get my takes, but you also get a 24/7 trader. You will also get a market researcher who knows how to research projects very thoroughly, reads the white papers, all that stuff. And most importantly, you get the voice chats and the text channels as well, which I'm very, very active in. I speak to the members on a daily basis. So I'll see you guys over there. Appreciate all of you tuning in, and I'll see